Good morning again. We explore the topic, why don't children listen to us? This is a common complaint that we receive, we hear. We also have somehow we feel, we perceive children aren't listening to us. You know, sometimes beginning from 2 years of age, especially with screens. you know Parents feel helpless. He will not eat without having mobile before him, or I cannot make him play with friends, whatever. Child does not listen to me. We need to question this. Many of my approach suggestions have always been, it's not the child's fault, it is not the fault of the environment around me. I'm in there, but I also have a choice as a individual. So I'm always trying to look within me. Why is someone not listening to me? What is it in me that is not making the other person listen? Right? I may not be able to answer it because that's the way I have lived, that's the way I have been conditioned, I believe, and it has worked for me in many other situations. But only with the children, only with certain people, it may not be working. So, the bottom line here, what I need to understand is, do I listen to myself? In a few episodes ago, we talked on fragmentation. Now, does my body listen to what my head is saying, or my ideas, thoughts, or my heart is saying, the feelings and emotions? Do I listen to them? Or I have an idea about waking up at 5 every morning and going for a 2 kilometer walk. Does my body listen to it? So, is this listening built in for myself? We also talked about integrations in one of the episodes before. Only when I'm integrated in my thinking, in my feeling, in my actions, somewhere I am this whole person who will know what to talk, how much to talk, how effectively to talk. So someone listens to me. So I listen to myself. Right? So this is a concept also, if you all have time, you can explore 12 senses that was proposed by Rudolf Steiner. We have elaborate sessions on those in our trainings, but for now, understand that we just don't have the five senses that we are taught. Of course, we have those five, but in addition to those, we also have other senses. And the sense to listen, the hearing, one of the sense organs, it will hear sounds, but listening is different from hearing. There are a lot of sounds on me. Listening is when I pay attention to it, when I try to comprehend it, when I act on it. So you asked me to wake up early and go for a walk. I heard it because sounds are vibrations and they have an impact on my physical organ, and my eardrum vibrates and there is a message communicated. All that will happen. But listening is, why is my parent telling me to go for a walk? Why is my parent telling me to wake up? Does my parent wake up as well? you know that is listening. They are asking me to go for a walk in the morning at 5 o'clock, so it's a good rhythm to follow, so I become fresh, so I am fit, so I can do xyz activities later on. Does child understand all of that? That ability to hear, listen, comes only in the third stage of child development, which is after the child is 12, 13, definitely 14 years of age. That is a higher order sense, and that's like super active. Whenever you want to like sit and meditate, first thing is we close our eyes, then we want to shut our ears. Don't listen to anything outside, listen to something that's happening within. Am I at that level? Right? So children don't listen, not because they're disobedient. It's not that they want to ignore you, they want to insult you or anything, but somehow they know what is coming next. If any of you have watched that movie Three Idiots, that little guy, the centimeter or millimeter, whatever his nickname is, he'll keep telling the same words that the dean of the college will repeat to the new students on their very first day at the college. Same thing. I mean, of course, it's a rhythm. We need to repeat, but how we repeat, with what intention I repeat. Does the other person know my objective? Of course, it's too much time. I cannot spend that kind of a time or effort in making it up on daily basis. Is my child understanding? Is my child ready to listen? No, it's difficult. So again, it comes back to me. Do I feel comfortable saying what I want to say? Am I happy with what I said? Or am I just doing it because of whatever reason? Just because I'm pressured. If my child will miss his bus, then I have to go drop him to school. I don't have time for it. So wake up. Right? So I am in a rush. So I push the child. So it's not about to reframe, it's not about how to speak right. It is going back within myself and assessing, do I feel right when I speak these words? And if it is not heard, then what is it that I need to change? My tone, my pitch? Maybe I'm talking too much, right? So that listening somewhere requires freshness. Now go back and listen. Pay attention to your own friends, relatives, people around you. How much do you listen when they speak? Who do you listen to more with full attention? And who do you not care much, even if you see them once in a while? That will give you a perspective. And somewhere when we repeat ourselves, there needs to be that connection. So repetition without connection, it just becomes a background noise. Every child will know what's coming up right in the morning, how rushed it's going to be like, what comes when they come back home in the evening from school, or your spouses from work or whatever. And they know how to kind of maneuver around, cope with it, maybe pretend to listen and not really act on it. That is what will hurt us more, will make us more angry. So, whenever you have such a situation where you feel the child is not listening to me, stop and question, what was my objective? Is that what I'm communicating? Can I say it in fewer words? Can I say it in a different way? And be willing to ask, am I repeating myself too much? What would you like to hear from me? I mean, that's a little difficult because we think we are the all knowers, right? So it becomes a little difficult. But try it. One other thing you could definitely try is recording yourself. This helps a lot. Record yourself in the morning, 5 minutes. You can tell your child to record, they'll be more than happy to do it for us. Right? Very simple. It's very handy. Every mobile now has the recording device. So just record and listen to it. Later on when you're free, when you're settled. And see if your tone is rushed. Are you trying to speak too many words in too short a time? Are you only instructing? Are your instructions back to back to back? Where it may be a overload for the child. Take a shower, pack your bags, and make sure you have put your bed sheet away, and then when you come out, come to the table, I would have put this on the table, eat this and be ready, and make sure you wear your clean socks, today is Wednesday, wear your uniform. We have a lot of instructions, and all children cannot take it. We have our own temperaments. Some of us are easygoing, some of us are quick to do, some of us would care less, right? So is am I piling up instruction after instruction? Listen to your own voice. Am I complaining? Am I comparing? Am I blaming? Am I telling every day the same story? How many times should I tell you this? Why can't you learn it? Well, the key for me here is, yes, the child is not learning. What could be the reason? Children are always testing us, always, because that's how they learn and they grow. And do I understand that? Sometimes they're like, okay, she keeps telling, don't worry, ignore, and we'll carry about our way. Or do you have healthy boundaries? Is there a warmth in your tone? Is there something that is interesting, that is curious? Something like saying, what's your favorite? I'll make something that you really love when you come back in the evening. And the child will be like, what is it? What is it? And they'll be curious to come home. And you can give them a few clues. This is the games we play during party time. Clue games. I'll give you, it's about 200 grams, and it's about this size. It fits in a plate, and they keep guessing. Because it's their favorite, they keep guessing. And maybe you could say, I have changed it a little bit. The color is like this. It's baked, or it's boiled, or it's cooked, or fried. Give them different kinds of clues where the learning is also happening. Curiosity is developing. So it's not mechanical every day. And children are imitating us. They're looking at us and behaving exactly like us. They're mirroring us. What am I not listening to? Something here you need to turn a little bit more into your own self. Maybe your back is aching. Are you listening to your back? It sounds kind of cliche. It's kind of weird. You know, what do you mean listening to your backache? These listening to backache is not the physical ear listening, it is the essence of listening that's working. Why do I have that backache? Is backache telling me something? Something is blocked, something I've shouldered too much. Same exact thing is happening with the child. Have I given them too much? Are they shouldering too much? Becomes interesting when you start looking it inwards. It's not again blaming myself. It's not that, oh my God, I've told this all along. Have I hurt my child? No, it's not about getting into the guilt trip. It's all about understanding. So when I speak what I want the child to listen. So there is value, there is depth in it. I know my mother will not repeat the instructions. My father, whenever he says something, he means that it has to be done. It is not that, okay, by the way, do it. Right? So there is that expectation that develops. When my mother says no, it is a no. Otherwise, she doesn't say no to many things. So I'm not like begging her to get it, or forcing her to do something. It's a no. Simple. Because See, the child development in the human being is the longest because we are very complex beings. The brain is still developing, the neural connections are still being made. Though the child appears to be like an adult, my height, my weight, doesn't mean they are fully capable human beings yet. It takes a good 25 years for the brain to fully develop and be fully functional. And so sometimes when I say something, it may not even register. That is why, in the early stages, the teaching method or the way we conduct with children is through repetition. Every day we kind of repeat, not like a parrot, that becomes a repetition with reverence, with love, with compassion, with gratitude that there is someone here to listen to me. The emotions behind your words matter more. Sometimes more talking is more pressure on the child. That is why recording and listening to yourself will help a lot. So it will help us tune in to what I might be saying, which is not required, which may not be appropriate, which is what is making children mute us. And somewhere, when we develop this habit as a coping mechanism for a child, it's better to silence them out. Don't listen, just ignore. They start ignoring any tone that is sounding like mine. They'll mute me out, and they'll also mute out any sound sounding like mine. So later on in their life, they may miss out on very crucial instructions because they have muted me. Muting has become a habit. Now, again, you go back and listen to your own selves. When did you hear? When did you listen? When did you not listen? When do you mute people off? How much attention are you really paying when somebody is talking constantly in the house? Now imagine children have to listen to teachers for 8 hours a day, because somewhere we believe teaching is talking, explaining. It is not just about giving some concepts and then giving some time for children to think about it, giving some time for children to do it, process it. No, we just bombard them when they aren't ready yet. So there is naturally over exertion, over stimulation, over intellectualization happening. So pay attention to it, change your script. I mean, one day just become silent. That practice we have in our culture, Mauna Vrata, right? When you just stay silent. We can begin with staying silent for 30 minutes a day. Begin with when nobody's around. So you will not call anybody, you will not uh, speak to yourself, sing to yourself. You just keep your voice totally unused and slowly increase it. I mean, that's also a big practice when you go to any of these spiritual retreats. Vipassana is one of them where you have to be mute for, I don't know, about 10 days, 12 days, no speaking. So it's a good practice because that's when we start going within ourselves. And also look at what are we talking about, the content. Typically with children, it's mostly just the schoolwork. What's your homework? What did your teacher tell? When is the exams? Did you do well? Is the report card here? Same thing. Again, recording your voice will help you a lot in understanding the content. And once you understand it, you will begin talking differently, using a new word, sharing your own experience, treating child as though they are your friends, sharing with them like a friend. So children want to listen to what was your experience when I went to school. That is something I also recommend to parents, especially if your child is 6, 7 years or older. Have definitely a 15-minute talk one on one with them every single day. That is where you're connecting, you're not questioning, you're just present without the burden of turning off your cooker or attending to somebody who's ringing the doorbell. No disturbance, just go on your terrace or a long walk without phone. Just be. You share whatever it is, the child will share whatever it is, and you see the bond between me and the child developing. That is when listening will happen. So understand, whenever the child is not listening, there is something deeper that I can fix within me. I cannot tell child, listen to me, this is important for you, you don't know much. No, it's something how I can speak so you listen. And the change has to begin with me. So begin recording and listening to yourself. It helps a lot. Yeah. Good luck and thank you all very much. Have a great weekend.